Hi, my name is Motlohelwa Joseph Mokoni, and my question is at the end of the course, what is it that I want to harvest? Well, for me, I've I've never really I've never really studied. Um, so studying is something I constantly struggle with. So that's what I want to achieve. So there's two things I want to achieve. Number one is I want to teach myself how to study. So in the past, I've relied on reading, understanding, and memorizing. Reading, memorizing, and understanding. So that's always been me. So I've never really studied. So even if we have a conversation about something, that's a form of studying for me. So at the end of the this semester, that's what I want to harvest. Number two, I want to understand AWS because it is one of the cloud. Well, actually, it is the only cloud platform that I do not really understand it is really confusing for me. So those are the two things that I want to understand. And question number two is what do I need to achieve that? So excuse me, to answer number one, question 1.1, 1.2, they're about the same. So as I said that I've never really studied. So number one, I've so like in the past I'll always find gaps and do things, not plan them. So find gaps, do schoolwork, and it'll get me the end of the tunnel, but I've never really been satisfied with, the results, the input and also the output of my actions. And so that's why I've made a commitment that I want to learn how to study. So then that means setting aside time for me to be able to study. For example, I have a pretty busy day. I wake up in the morning, go to the gym, help my wife prepare the babies, and then travel to work, get to work, and then work, work, work. My work is incredibly demanding. Sometimes there's gaps in between where I can just catch a break, but that time is never sustainable for me to study. So then I come back from work, pick up the kids from school, and then I run a football club. So I then go and coach like soccer in American language. And so after that, I'd come home, tuck the kids to bed, and then just at the time for me to relax. So I've noted that between the hours of 8 o'clock at night after tucking the kids to bed and 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock, that's the time that I've identified that I'm going to use to study. Plan what I'm going to study that night, write things down, what I'm going to study, and then write notes as I am studying. So that's what I identify that's going to help me to learn how to study, do it on a consistent basis, and also that's going to help me to understand AWS in detail. I've identified here that there are a lot of resources, links, study material that I'm going to dive into and help myself to study. And as I said, during work hours, and break hours, whenever there's that gap, then I'm gonna indulge on those study material because I've seen there is quite a lot to read and I'm excited for that. So that is what I want to achieve it. That I wanna harvest, at the end of the semester. I want to better my studying. I want to better my study techniques. You know, um, organize my studying so that it's organized. I've always been a versatile person, but I know I'm also organized. But when it came to my studying, I have never really been organized in my studyings. Like I said earlier, I'll take moments, use them to study, just so I can get things out of my way, and it's never been really deep study. But because AWS, I don't understand it that much, I need to sit down and dive deep into it, and then it needs to be a planned effort. So that's what I want to harvest at the end of the semester. Thank you.